And okay, so hi everyone. I just wanted to have a real special person on to share with you, who I met 3 years ago. He came to me for speech therapy. At that time, he was stuttering a lot, and I just thought his words of wisdom would really help you. So, hey TJ,
Happy to be here.
I'm so I'm so
Thank you.
happy. So I'm just gonna start, by asking you at that time, because it was about 3 years ago, why did you start speech therapy?
I began speech therapy because I was out of practice with my speech for about maybe 5 years at the time. And when I was until I was about 12, I was consistently going to therapy, and it kind of seemed as though my speech was going to improve over time. So once that didn't work, um, I found that my speech was at it felt as though it was at an all-time low, because being a teenager around that time, I was in my senior year of high school. So the the looming thought of continuing onto college and working and doing all the basic adult stuff seemed to have been difficult, with my speech being so difficult to navigate through. I was blocking significantly, and I was stammering. I could barely get a word out, and it was very frustrating for me, and it made me feel a, a, a little down about myself.
Okay. Um, how did speech therapy help you?
Speech therapy helped me because I was able to improve on the way I can verbally express myself. And the more I began to express myself, the more I began to feel like my voice mattered. And I began to contribute to a lot more conversations. I began to talk to different people, and I began to work. And working really helped me gain that confidence, because I had to speak to a lot of people every day. I began working at an internship the summer that I had first started going to therapy with you, and I was a concierge at Cohen's Children's Hospital in Glen Oaks. I had to speak to a high volume of people every day. About 200 people may come into the front doors every morning. So I would speak to people, and I would escort them to their destinations. And some of those talks, they had to be very light and high spirited talks, because you never know what a family is going through, and you don't know the amount of stress that they're in. So you always want to make them feel at ease, and you want to make them feel comfortable. And I find as though me having a difficulty speaking, I'm able to pick up on more comfortable conversations and more comfortable tones, because I want people to speak to me the same way all the time. um and I just feel much better about myself since I've been able to get the help, and I've been able to get better at articulating myself.
I think that was a great point that you mentioned, because you understand how important it is to be heard. And
Thank you.
also, I just want to mention, because the way you're speaking now is unbelievable, because it's such a transformation, not just from stuttering, because you were almost stuttering on every word, but your confidence is just amazing. So I'm just going to ask you, how
Thank you.
important do you think confidence is in stuttering and communications?
Confidence is very key because I feel as though, sorry, I feel as though if you are not confident in what you have to say, then you shouldn't say it at all, or else it's not going to come out right. For example, if you were having a um a debate with somebody over baseball, as soon as you come in with that small pipsqueak point, the other person is just going to talk right over you. And the same way with stuttering. Sometimes we may speak to a person who is not used to communicating with somebody with a speech impediment. Then they'll begin to talk over you, not realizing that you're in the middle of a sentence and you're first starting your point. But they don't hear that. They hear that you're going nowhere, so they continue to talk over you. So I feel as though having that confidence in what you have to say, you're going to naturally project your voice and you're going to make yourself heard. And it also plays a part in formulating what you have to say as well, because after a while, you're not going to have to think so much about what you have to say and how you want to say it. You're just going to spit it out as people tell us to do.
Right. And I just have to, add on one more thing. So, how do you feel when like people are saying spit it out, take a breath, start over? I mean, do you
I,
find it helpful?
I don't like when people backseat speak to me. It
I
feels
like that.
as
I like that.
thank you. It just feels as though now more than ever, I feel as though I'm past that point. I want to say that I've grown beyond that, because I am going to be 21 years old this June, and I have accomplished a lot when it comes to my speech. I've spoken to high volumes of people. I've spoke to a mass of people, especially when we had when we had did that convention last year, when I had spoke at the event with the teachers. I spoke to about 100 people that day, right?
Yeah.
And I spoke confidently, I spoke clearly, and I spoke honestly. And I feel as though with accomplishing tasks like that, and with already speaking fine during regular conversational speech, if I bump once or twice, I would appreciate if people just let me fix it myself.
I can't tell you. I mean, obviously we have that common bond that we both stutter, but I think you have so much beyond that because you are amazing and you are
Thank you.
inspirational and you have, every time I've ever said, "Oh, TJ, do you want to speak to people?" "Yeah, sure, no problem." And you've like never shied away, and your your words are so honest and they always have been. So I so appreciate you coming on because I think it's a gift in life to educate others. And I think it takes a lot of courage to be honest. And I think the more
Thank
genuine
you.
we are, the more other people will learn. So thank you so much.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank
I
you.
every time I speak for one of these interviews or one of these events, I gain more confidence. So it's also helping me. I greatly appreciate it, Lori.
I'm so glad. All right. Thank you.